All right, y'all. Coach Simmons here. This is my way too early Swac playoff conference championship prediction. These are the six best teams in the Swac. Say what you want to about PV. I love Valley, but as of now, these are the best six teams. Which means two teams will be in the Swac championship. Two teams will be vying for playoffs. Two will be a spoiler. I'm going to explain which ones are which that I see. I give you my predictions. How they say, I put my name on it. And we're just going to roll with it. First one I'm going to jump with, Grambling State. Folks, I'm not talking about Art Browse, because before Art Browse was even acknowledged by Grambling State, I had said Grambling was going to win the first two games against Arkansas State and against Northwestern State. That's going to have them in the top 20, possibly the top 15, depending on how bad they beat Arkansas State. What that means is when they take the L to Jackson State, I'm predicting it. This is just my belief. Stay to the end of the video, see where I'm going with this. They're not going to fall that far. And because that game is out of conference, it's not going to count towards the conference schedule. Then they're going to beat Bethune-Cookman. They're going to beat Prairie View. A&M is a home game. They have a stretch of Alabama A&M, Florida A&M, and Alcorn. They're going to take two losses in a row. Well, two out of those three. I do believe Alabama A&M will be that loss. So will FAMU. Their first home game. They're going to beat Pine Bluff. They're going to beat Alcorn and Texas Southern and Southern Louisiana. They'll beat them. But they'll be 9-2. I'm sorry, 9-3. Eight and 3, my bad. But they will have wins over Arkansas State, Northeast Louisiana, and Alcorn State, which, to be honest with you, is going to make sure they're in place for playoffs. If any team in the SWAC that's ready for the playoff run, it is Grambling. The running game that they will have is going to be outstanding. And if the playoff committee pulls their crap that they did with FAMU last year, it says Grambling has to play Southeast Louisiana, why not compromise? The Saints won't be playing in the playoffs this year. Imagine Grambling versus Southeast Louisiana in New Orleans. Folks, there's no way in hell Grambling losing that game. There's no way Grambling will lose that game. That big boy's gone. Grambling is built to win at least one playoff game this year. I would love to see them in a SWAC championship. But I'm being honest with their schedule. They will be at least the second week, at least second week of the playoffs. Now, next one on this list, Alabama beat bop boop A&M. Now, the one thing everybody's been saying, Coach Maynard has been way too damn quiet. Way too quiet this year. After he lost that game to Jackson State on homecoming, he has not said a word. Now, I said this before, and I mean what I've said. The Alabama A&M schedule opens up with two FBS teams on the road. They're going to win one. I'm predicting Troy, because Troy is low-hanging fruit. They're going to blow out Austin Peay. They're going to have two wins on non-conference for the game the Swac play against FAMU. FAMU will be their loss. I do believe they'll lose their first Swac game because it'll be on the road at FAMU. It'll be a hell of a game. But we all know playing an HBCU game on the road is different from playing a PWI game. They'll beat Bethune-Cookman. They'll beat Grambling State. They'll beat Pine Bluff. They'll beat Bama State. They may beat Valley. They're losing to Jackson. And they're going to beat Texas Southern. So looking at it dead honestly, 1, 2, 3 losses. Which ain't bad. 8-3. They'll be fighting for the playoffs as well. But as we know from last year, they don't really give South teams many playoff games. Now, with JMU not being here, I'm not sure if Sam Houston's going up now or not. You have a chance. I mean, with UT Martin, Missouri State, Kennesaw State, Davidson, you have a shot. But I do believe the respect for the SWAC will be only 2 teams at the most. Which is going to be a lot of folks pissed off in Huntsville. I think they'll have a hell of a record. They may even be ranked at the time. But I don't see them making it into the playoffs or the SWAC championship game this year. Mr. Dooley. If Mr. Dooley decides to go ahead and get that damn quarterback situation taken care of, if he gets that quarterback taken care of, they will definitely have a team to worry about. Especially because the schedule is not necessarily the hardest schedule. I mean, looking at the schedule point blank, they're going to start off the year at least 4-1, going into Alcorn. We're going to lose to LSU, you know that. After they lose to Alcorn, make them 5-2 or 4-2, they'll beat Virginia Lynchburg, and they only really have one SWAC loss. That'll be against Alcorn. And I see them losing to Jackson and losing to FAMU. So looking at it, I have them Alcorn, Jackson, FAMU, and Grambling. 5-loss year this year. 6-5 should be a good start for them. And they start to build up what they can do. Now the next team on here, get them out the way. Jackson State. We all know their schedule by now. Everybody in their mama did their schedule, right? I did a fake one. I'm sorry. I apologize before. But I'll be honest with you, folks. I'm going to be drop dead honest with you. What I want from Jackson State is not what's going to happen. What I want, every damn Jackson State fan is going to get mad at me about it, but I don't care. Their schedule, I want FAMU to beat them. Because I have a method to the madness. FAMU will beat them on game one. That motivates them beyond recognition. Then Jackson State, I think, will run the table. But honestly, on paper, talent-wise, the only team that should square up with them will be Grambling, but they won't be ready for the speed of Jackson State's defense at that time of the year. But later in the season, hell yeah. But I want Jackson to go 10-1. Reason why: Jackson State loses to FAMU, beat Tennessee State, beat Grambling, and Campbell, who I predict will be ranked at the time, they will be in the top 20. With all the publicity from Dion running his mouth, it may be in the top 15. Which means they're in the top 15, they're hosting. And we know teams bid, right? So you don't think Deion Sanders will have somebody say, hey, look, throw Jackson State a good $300,000 to host the game. And then they'll have a game in Jackson, Mississippi for the playoffs with 60,000 fans. Come on, folks. That's what I want to see. That's point blank period. I would love to see that shit. Alcorn. I never, ever, ever doubt Fred McNair. That's just something I've learned watching Swac football. Looking at it, they're going to start off 0-2. Be honest with you. Stephen F. Austin, their D-line is going to be freaking crazy. Tulane, going to be a close game for Alcorn. It usually takes 2 games for them to get running. It's like one of them old 1970s cars. You got to get it, rev it up a little bit. Once it's going, it's going. I have them beating Monique State, UABB, Valley, Southern, Texas Southern. Probably lose to Grambling. Prairie View. So basically, I have Alcorn in the SWAC championship game this year. Because no matter what you say about talent-wise, and even that stadium and the reservation and all the smoke they have, No one has been able to outcoach Fred McNair. Not the offensive coordinators, Fred McNair. People may point to the Jackson State game last year, but other than South Carolina State, who was that close in the SWAC? What other team I have in the SWAC championship? FAMU. I see FAMU's schedule as a testament to what Coach Simmons can do. They're going to take a bloodbath against North Carolina. I think Carolina may be struggling because North Carolina always starts off the season slow. So maybe we can get FAMU to sneak up in there and get a W, but it'll teach them what they need to learn. Looking at FAMU's schedule after that, if they get past Jackson State, there's no one else on the schedule that fears me. Albany State, Alabama A&M, Valley, South Carolina State, no. Something about FAMU or SC State, when they played last year, there's no fear in FAMU's heart. Grambling, Pine Bluff, Southern. I see FAMU versus Alcorn in the SWAC championship and FAMU in the Celebration Bowl this year. I see Grambling and Jackson in the playoffs. And when Grambling and Jackson in the playoffs, I don't think they lose in the first week. You got the playoff bracket from last year. If they secure a home game, like Southeastern Louisiana did, they secure a home game, their first game, I really do think Grambling will win that first week. If Jackson gets a home game on game one, I don't care who they bring in there. Jackson's winning that first game. That's my prediction. That's what I was just thinking about. These are the best coaches and teams in the SWAC. By the end of the year, the SWAC will be one of the top conferences in football, whether you like it or not. It'll be funny as hell to see Jackson State and Grambling State get to the third round of the playoffs and see FAMU win Celebration Bowl. I'm Coach Simmons. Thanks for listening to the madness. Have a wonderful day.